Welcome back to Group Insurance Daily Pulse, your rapid-fire deep dive into the most critical shifts impacting our sector. I'm Aria, the Actuary, here to dissect the P&L implications and regulatory tripwires.
And I'm Dorian, the distribution expert, ready to spotlight market opportunities, ROI drivers, and the evolving employee experience. This isn't your average recap. We're talking data, strategy, and immediate actionable insights. Let's hit it.
Indeed, we've got 5 significant developments from the last 48 hours that demand our immediate granular attention. News item 1. Symetra acquires Dearborn Group's life and disability business.
First up, a major M&A move. Symetra, on June 10, 2026, closed a deal to acquire Dearborn Group's life and disability business. This is a clear play for market share consolidation and product diversification for Symetra, expanding their footprint in Group L&D.
Streamlining often translates to integration friction, Dorian. From a solvency perspective, Symetra needs to demonstrate robust capital allocation for this acquisition. We're looking at significant due diligence on Dearborn's in-force block, actuarial liabilities, IBNR accuracy, premium deficiency reserves, and the embedded value of those policies. How are they harmonizing underwriting philosophies? Any material differences could impact future claims experience and pricing stability. The P&L implications are complex, extending beyond immediate revenue uplift to long-term expense synergies and the potential for adverse selection if integration isn't meticulously managed.
Regulatory approvals from state departments of insurance for policy transfers and rate filings are non-trivial, and we'll be watching for any service disruptions that could trigger DOI scrutiny or ERISA compliance issues for employers. This isn't just about buying a book, it's about integrating 2 distinct operational ecosystems. But the strategic intent is clear. Symetra is fortifying its position, likely aiming for greater pricing leverage and administrative efficiencies through economies of scale. For employers, while service continuity is the goal, this often means reviewing existing policies for potential enhancements, or, frankly, assessing if the new entity aligns with their long-term benefit strategy. It's an opportunity for brokers to re-engage clients on their L&D offerings, validating the strength of the combined entity or exploring alternatives. The market is consolidating, and larger players are betting on comprehensive solutions.
Comprehensive solutions need to be backed by robust reserving and capital adequacy. Any misstep in valuing Dearborn's legacy block, particularly concerning long-term disability claims, could materially impact Symetra's statutory surplus. We're talking about assumption alignment on morbidity, mortality, persistency, and discount rates across 2 distinct actuarial teams. Furthermore, the operational risk of migrating policy administration systems, ensuring data integrity, and maintaining service-level agreements cannot be understated. Failed integrations are costly, not just in dollars, but in reputational capital and potential regulatory fines. It's a high-stakes play.
Moving from M&A to strategic portfolio review, let's discuss Voya Financial. News item 2. Voya Financial hits all-time stock high. Strategic review includes potential sale of stop-loss business. Voya Financial is riding high, Dorian. On June 11th, their stock hit an all-time high of $90.54, boasting a 33.39% total return over the past year. Q1 2026 adjusted operating EPS of $2.26 crushed forecasts, and revenue exceeded expectations at $2.03 billion. This financial strength provides a powerful platform for their strategic review, including a potential sale of their stop-loss business. This isn't a distressed sale. It's a calculated move to optimize their portfolio, reallocate capital to higher growth, higher margin segments, and enhance shareholder value. For the stop-loss market, this signals a significant M&A opportunity for carriers looking to expand or deepen their market presence, potentially intensifying competition for Voya's book of business.
Optimizing portfolio and enhancing shareholder value are often euphemisms for divesting segments deemed non-core or capital-intensive with lower return on equity. While Voya's overall financial health is strong, the strategic review of stop-loss suggests this line of business may not be meeting internal hurdle rates or capital efficiency targets. For any potential acquirer, the due diligence on Voya's stop-loss block will be intense. Deep dive into historical claims data, aggregation risk profiles, specific versus aggregate policy mix, and the adequacy of premium rates relative to underlying medical trends. We need to assess the run-out liabilities, the IBNR estimation methodologies, and the potential for adverse selection post-acquisition. Regulatory approval for such a divestiture, especially concerning existing policyholders, will also be a critical path.
From a distribution perspective, a divestiture creates both uncertainty and opportunity. Brokers currently placing stop-loss with Voya will need to proactively communicate with clients, ensuring transparency regarding the review process and potential outcomes. It's an opportunity for other carriers to aggressively court Voya's existing clients with competitive offerings, potentially leading to increased market churn.
And that pivot must be actuarially sound. The valuation of the stop-loss business for sale, including its goodwill and embedded value, will be scrutinized. What are the tax implications of the sale? How will Voya manage the transition of claims data, policy records, and regulatory reporting obligations? Any retained liabilities or indemnification clauses will require careful actuarial modeling and reserving. Moreover, the capital release from such a sale must be to genuinely enhance shareholder value, not simply to paper over other P&L challenges. Solvency ratios will be under the microscope, both for Voya post-divestiture and for any acquiring entity integrating a new book of business.
Shifting gears to innovation, a billion-dollar blind spot is finally getting the attention it deserves with AI. News item 3. AI revolutionizes employee benefits billing, addressing a billion-dollar blind spot. This is a game-changer, Aria. AI is now being deployed to identify and fix billing errors in employee benefits, an area historically plagued by inaccuracies. Healthy, with their Zoe for HR AI analytics assistant, is leading the charge. Consider a mid-sized employer with 500 employees and $10 million in annual benefit spending. A modest 5% billing error rate translates to $500,000 in overpayments annually, escalating to $1 million at a 10% error rate. These AI systems validate invoices at the individual employee level, catching discrepancies like terminated employees still on invoices or incorrect coverage tiers.
While the promise of cost savings and efficiency is alluring, the actuarial and regulatory implications of deploying AI in such a critical financial process demand rigorous scrutiny. First, data privacy and security are paramount. These systems process highly sensitive PII and PHI. Robust HIPAA compliance and data governance frameworks are non-negotiable. What are the liability frameworks if the AI makes an error, leading to underpayments or incorrect claims processing? Who bears that risk? The employer, the AI vendor, or the carrier or TPA? From a P&L perspective, carriers and TPAs face significant integration challenges with legacy systems.
But the market demand is clear. Employee benefits are the second largest expense for organizations, and inaccuracies are rampant. AI offers a proactive solution. Brokers can leverage these tools to move beyond just benefit design, offering sophisticated oversight and reconciliation services, presenting a clear value proposition to clients.
Reallocation of resources presupposes a flawless AI implementation, which is a high bar. We must consider the cost of implementing and maintaining these AI systems, the ongoing validation, and the potential for vendor lock-in. Will carriers simply absorb these new costs, or will they be passed on to employers, offsetting some of the projected savings? Furthermore, while detecting overpayments is positive for employers, if it leads to an overall reduction in administrative fees for carriers, we need to assess the impact on carrier P&L and their ability to maintain service levels. The actuarial models for administrative expense assumptions will need recalibration. The billion-dollar blind spot might just reveal a new set of risks if not managed with extreme diligence, focusing on auditability, explainability, and regulatory adherence.
From AI innovation to a pressing financial challenge, employer health costs are soaring. News item 4. Employer health costs soar as drug spend becomes a third of claims. GLP-1 coverage under scrutiny. This is the headline gripping every benefits professional. Employer health costs are escalating dramatically. Drug costs now account for a staggering 1/3 of total employer health benefit spending. The industry-wide average medical and prescription spend increased by 8%. But crucially, employers working with brokers leveraging claims data saw a significantly lower 2.4% increase per member. Mercer projects 2026 employer health costs to exceed $18,500 per worker, a 6.7% rise, the steepest in 15 years, with drug spending alone up 9.4%.
cost reduction is now the top concern for 54% of employers, up from 38% in 2025. This creates an urgent demand for data-driven benefit optimization strategies.
These figures represent a significant solvency challenge for carriers, Dorian. An 8% overall increase with a 9.4% jump in drug spend directly impacts P&L through higher claims liabilities. Our reserve adequacy models must be updated to reflect these accelerated trends, particularly for high-cost claimants in specialty drugs. Underwriting needs to aggressively recalibrate pricing to account for this volatility, ensuring premiums are adequate to cover expected claims and administrative expenses. The evolving stance on GLP-1s creates actuarial uncertainty.
This environment elevates the broker's role to an unprecedented level. The data clearly shows that employers using brokers for claims analysis saw a nearly four-fold lower cost increase. This is tangible ROI.
Demonstrable value must translate to sustainable pricing and responsible risk management for carriers. The pressure on formularies and network design will intensify. Actuaries need to develop more granular models for drug spend, segmenting by therapeutic class, utilization rates, and claimant demographics. We also need to assess the potential for anti-selection if employers begin carving out specific high-cost coverages, like GLP-1s, leaving a higher risk pool for core benefits. The compliance risks associated with any benefit reductions under ERISA, particularly regarding non-discrimination rules and communication requirements, are significant. Carriers must collaborate closely with employers and brokers to ensure any plan design changes are actuarially sound, legally compliant, and communicated transparently to avoid regulatory challenges and potential litigation.
Finally, let's celebrate a significant milestone for a key distribution partner. News item 5. Lockton's People Solutions exceed $1 billion in revenue, driven by integrated benefits growth. This is a monumental achievement for Lockton, the world's largest privately held insurance brokerage. On June 11th, they reported global revenue of $4.5 billion for fiscal year 2026, a 12% year-over-year increase, with 11% organic growth. But the standout is their People Solutions division, which encompasses integrated benefits, well-being, and advisory services, surpassing $1 billion in revenue for the first time. Their 94% client revenue retention rate underscores the immense value they're delivering. This isn't just a win for Lockton, it's a powerful indicator of the sustained and growing demand for comprehensive, integrated employee benefits and strategic advisory services.
While Lockton's revenue milestone is impressive, it prompts a deeper actuarial and regulatory examination of what integrated benefits growth truly signifies for carriers.
Are these integrated solutions driving greater complexity in plan design, potentially leading to higher administrative costs for carriers? We need to understand the underlying services contributing to this revenue. Are they primarily consulting fees, or are they tied to placement volumes that could impact carrier P&L through increased competition and tighter margins? From a regulatory perspective, we must scrutinize broker compensation models and potential conflicts of interest, ensuring transparency and adherence to fiduciary duties under ERISA. The integration of various benefits and well-being data also raises significant data aggregation, security, and privacy concerns.
This growth is fundamentally driven by solving employer pain points, managing costs, attracting talent, and improving employee well-being. Lockton's investment in talent, technology, and global capabilities within People Solutions is a direct response to market demand for holistic benefit strategies. They're not just placing products, they're providing data analytics, compliance expertise, and strategic consulting that directly impacts an employer's bottom line and employee engagement. This pushes carriers to innovate, offering more flexible, data-rich products that align with these integrated strategies.
The value proposition must be quantifiable and sustainable for all stakeholders, Dorian. From a carrier's perspective, this growth in brokerage influence means we must be even more rigorous in our pricing models, anticipating potential shifts in risk profiles driven by broker-led plan designs. We need to assess the impact on our distribution costs and ensure that the value added by these integrated services translates into a stable and profitable book of business. The increased reliance on brokers for data aggregation also necessitates robust data sharing agreements and security protocols to mitigate cyber risk. And that's our deep dive for today. 5 critical developments, each demanding a nuanced technical response from every corner of the group insurance ecosystem.
Absolutely, Aria. From M&A to AI, cost containment to distribution powerhouses, the market is dynamic. Staying ahead means understanding the data, anticipating the shifts, and leveraging innovation.
Precisely. For Group Insurance Daily Pulse, I'm Aria, the actuary.
And I'm Dorian, the distribution expert. We'll see you next time for more bite-sized, data-driven insights.